Hello everyone. In this video, I will try to review what we've covered in today's lesson. So the topic for today's class is to learn about a very important mineral that is coal. Like you can see in the picture, this is how coal looks like. So the objective for today's lesson is to understand the formation of coal, the different classification of coal, the different uses of coal, the problems associated with it, and the distribution of coal in India. So let us begin. Now, coal. Coal comes under a broad category that is the conventional sources of energy. So we defined what is conventional. Conventional sources meaning basically these are type of energy sources that are exhaustible in nature, okay, that are limited or non-renewable in nature. So coal is a conventional source of energy. It consists mainly of inflammable organic substances. Inflammable here meaning something that can easily set on fire, something that can easily catch fire. Organic here basically because coal is derived from plants and animals, so that is why we use the word organic. All right, so coal is an inflammable, something that sets fire and derived from organic substances, and mainly composed of hydrocarbon meaning hydrogen and carbon. Coal is formed in the sedimentary rocks of organic origin. Coal beds in between sedimentary rock layers and are called seams. So, in between sedimentary rocks, you would see the formation of coal taking place in beds, like how you can see here. This is the sedimentary rock, and in between, you can see coal. So, this bed of coal is known as your seams in between the sedimentary rock. Now we will learn about the classification of coal. This is a very important section. Many times you get question from here, especially in name the following section. So we will learn about the different types of coal. We will begin with the first and the most important variety of coal, that is the anthracite coal. Anthracite coal is the most superior, meaning superior quality of coal found in India. It has more than 80% of carbon. So the carbon content in anthracite is really high. It gives maximum heat, so heat wise also it can really release a lot of heat and little smoke. So this is a very important feature because anthracite gives us very little smoke. It is not very smoky. That is why this is mostly used for domestic purpose. So anthracite is mostly used for domestic purpose, for household purpose, because it gives maximum heat and emits very little smoke. Third, it is the highest variety of coal, and the last feature is that it has highest calorific here means energy value. Energy wise also it has really high value. All right, states where you find Jammu and Kashmir is one state where you can find anthracite, but in very small quantities. So anthracites from here you can get questions about naming the inferior naming the superior quality or the highest quality of coal found in India. Coal which is mostly used for domestic purpose, coal which has high carbon content, and you can learn about one state where you would find anthracite. So that is about anthracite. It has almost 80% of carbon. Moving to the second variety, that is the bituminous coal. Bituminous coal basically has carbon content ranging from 60 to 80%, slightly lower than anthracite. It gives less heat, so the amount of heat it gives out is less than anthracite, but smoke emission is very high. That is why you cannot use bituminous coal for household or domestic purpose, because smoke emission is very high. It is second in terms of quality, high energy value, then lignite and peat. Okay, this is not feet but peat. So that is about bituminous, and that bituminous emits a lot of smoke. That is why this type of coal is mostly used in iron and steel industry. So iron and steel industry mostly uses bituminous coal, which is the second variety, and it has almost 60% of carbon content. Third, we come to lignite. Lignite has carbon between 40 but less than 60. It gives less heat, but smoke emission is higher. It is third in terms of quality, and it's very low energy value. Where would you find lignite? Assam is one state where you can learn. For bituminous, you can learn West Bengal or any other state which you're comfortable. And the fourth variety of coal, which is actually the first coal to be formed, that is the peat. Peat has the lowest carbon content because it is the first type of coal which is formed. Okay, that's why it does not have really high carbon, and it is not really good quality because it initially it gets formed, but these others are because of extreme pressure and heat. With time they form, that is why they have more carbon content. Emits maximum smoke, burns like a wood. It is the poorest quality, it is inferior quality of course. If you get a question, inferior or poorest quality of a coal, it is peat. Superior is anthracite, very low energy value, and you can find peat in states like Odisha, West Bengal. These are some states. So lignite has 40%, peat is less than 40%. So these are the four types of coal. You have to learn the spelling as well, because sometimes in name the following you can get questions like coal which is mostly used by iron and steel industries. The answer is bituminous. But if you go wrong in your spelling, there are chances for your marks to go down. So please remember the spelling as well. Now, how are coal formed? So this is which we've already covered in class 9, but I'll quickly sum up with the help of this picture. So when trees, vegetation, they decay, they start depositing. When they start depositing, because of the extreme pressure and heat, they keep piling up on the surface of the earth, and as they pile up, after many, it takes a lot of millions of years, because of extreme heat and pressure, when they start piling up after they decay and they get decomposed, that is how it converts into coal. So coal is basically organic in nature, because they're mostly from the dead remains of vegetation. Now, about 67% of the power that is consumed in India is mostly from coal. So all the energy sources that we consume is mostly derived from coal in India. That's why coal is rightly known as the black gold. So it is the most important, that is why hence known as black gold, and is also one of the main sources of domestic fuel. In most of the domestic household, it is one of the main source of fuel. So that is why it is rightly known as the black gold. So you might get question, why is coal known as black gold? Now moving to the classification of coal based on period of formation. Before that, this is what we've learned, how total energy consumption in India is mostly from coal alone, 67, and there are other sources we derive from. Coal is mostly used for thermal power, domestic purpose, even making raw materials, which we will learn in the uses of coal. Now classification, there are two types of coal based on the formation. When were they formed? So based on the period of formation, coal are of two types. One is the Gondwana coal, which is the oldest coal, which was almost found 200 million years back. Tertiary is almost 55 million years back. It is maximum has, minimum amount of moisture and sulfur is very less. Here tertiary has maximum amount of moisture and sulfur. Gondwana, almost 98% percentage of coal that we find in our country is mostly Gondwana origin. 2% is found of tertiary, which is mostly in Assam. So Gondwana you can learn about Jharkhand, one state, West Bengal. Tertiary coal is basically Assam, 2% is found in Assam. So Gondwana is almost 98% coal is Gondwana origin, and 2% is tertiary origin. Now moving to the uses of coal. Now, before we dive into the different uses of coal, we will start by learning about why coal is a versatile mineral. This is a very important question which you get in your boards, asking you to justify the statement of why coal is rightly called as a versatile mineral with the help of two reasons, three reasons. At least try to be confident with three reasons why it is known as versatile. So first, before we understand why is it known as versatile, let's understand what do you mean by versatile. So versatile basically means, what does it mean? It means like basically being able to adapt in many different functions or activities or uses. So because coal is not just for one uses, but it can have multiple uses, it has adapted in giving us many different uses. That is why we call coal as a versatile mineral, meaning having plenty of many different uses. All right, so let's understand the different uses. First, it is used to produce thermal, meaning heat, electricity. Good quality coal is used to smelt iron, so burning, melting of iron ore, where we use coal. Important raw material in making any industries like cement also uses coal. Chemical fertilizers, fibers, plastics also uses coal. So even utilized in industries. Coal also used in chemicals like ammonia, and it is a very important source of domestic fuel. So these are the reasons which makes coal a versatile mineral, because it has adapted to many different functions and activities, not just sticking to one, but coal can be used to generate electricity, to smelt iron, to extract raw material, to extract chemicals, and even as a domestic fuel. So these are the reasons why coal is rightly known as a versatile mineral. So you must know that this is a very important section. Moving to the next, coking coal. I'll just introduce what you mean by coking coal. So the second variety of coal, that is bituminous coal, is basically burned and enclosed oven To reduce the volatile meaning the changing matter of the bituminous coal, in order to reduce the changing matter and to increase the carbon content in bituminous, they are burnt in a furnace. The coal softens and fuses while burning and produces coke. So when they are burned, they produce something called coke. This coke is basically one form of coal which is used in burning blast furnaces and to extract iron from the iron ore. So when you use coal to burn the furnace, that coal which is used is known as a coke, which is basically derived from the bituminous coal, which is the second variety of coal. Moving to the distribution of coal, Jharkhand is one very important state, and one district in Jharkhand is Jharia. Jharkhand, we almost get 50% of coal comes from Jharkhand. That is why it is also known as the storehouse of Indian coal. So Jharkhand, Jharia, storehouse of Indian coal, because we get almost 50% of coal from there. There are other states as well. So Jharkhand is one important state. Odisha, West Bengal. So please try to remember once. Try to remember the same district which you are learning for other minerals. So you have to make a table. Try to make a table where you use the same district if you're learning for. Try to see the connection between other minerals which we've covered: iron, copper, manganese, aluminium. Same state sometimes can have the same district. So you can learn the same so that it is convenient for you to remember. West Bengal, Raniganj is a very important district. It's one of the oldest and second largest coal mine. In Assam, Mukum is one where there's tertiary coal. Okay, so around lignite is basically found in Tamil Nadu, and the in government of India set up a committee, National Coal Development Corporation, to make sure that the extraction is planned and there's no overuse or excessive or over exploitation of coal in our country. Now, coming to the last section for today's class, problems of coal. So you have to at least know three problems associated with coal mining. First is as because coal is largely found in one area, especially the Chota Nagpur region, so that becomes transportation cost becomes very expensive if you have to take that coal to far off places because the demand is high. Second, labor cost is very high because you have to dig coal on underground mines, so labor expensive. Unsafe to work because of the can have problems related to breathing, and sometimes flood can be a problem to extract coal from underground mines, especially to do with areas like Jharkhand are mostly associated with Maoist strongholds. So that can lead to problem in extracting the mines because you have to deal with them and pay them of certain money, and the hassle that you have to go through is quite a problem for that area. And the theft, I'm sure you've heard or read in papers how illegal mining takes place. So this is one of the major problem which has reduced the profitability of coal mines in India because of illegal mining and theft that has taken place. So these are the major problems associated with coal mining in India. So that is what we've covered in today's class. I hope you were able to understand. Feel free to get back if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.